I'm back. I've got another fun book for you. Today I have Stanley's Wild Ride. This was written by Linda Bailey. She's the author, and it was illustrated by Bill Slavin. He is the illustrator. That means that she wrote the words and he drew the pictures. And oh my goodness, look at the pictures on this. Ooh. We've got Stanley's Wild Ride. Ooh, Stanley's a dog, and look at all his dog friends. Stanley knew he wasn't supposed to leave the yard, but he'd been stuck in that yard practically his whole life, and it was always the same. Same old bush, same old clothesline, same old fence. Stanley stared at the big blue sky beyond the fence, and he longed with all his heart for something new, something exciting, something more. And one day, sniffing in a corner, he found it. A hole, just a weensy hole, as big as a bug. But when Stanley scratched, it got bigger. Soon it was as big as a dog's nose. All afternoon and into the evening, Stanley scratched and pawed and dug. Finally, the hole was as big as a whole dog. Stanley knew because there he was, on the other side of the fence. "Gruff!" barked Stanley in astonishment. Then he noticed something even better. There was no leash attached to his collar, and no person at the end of the leash. Stanley quivered with excitement. He wondered how far he could run without stopping. He ran all the way to the end of the block. Then he ran back. Then he did it again. Stanley felt like a million dog biscuits. He ran 3 whole blocks without stopping to see his best friend Alice. When Alice saw Stanley running loose, she got very excited. "Just dig a hole," said Stanley in dog talk. "It's easy." Alice tried, but the dirt was too hard. "There must be a way," said Stanley. Alice poked at her fence and prodded. Finally, she found a loose board that was exactly the size of a dog. "Run for it," barked Stanley, and they did. Next came Nutsy. With Alice's help, she broke out in seconds. Elwood's escape was tougher. And Gassy Jack almost didn't make it. But finally, there they were. 5 dogs out of their yards and not a leash in sight. "We can go anywhere," barked Stanley. "We can do anything we want." "Yep, yep, yep, yep," agreed all his friends. And away they all ran, looking for the kind of fun you can't find in a yard. When they found some tasty garbage, they ate it. When they passed a fancy car, they soaked its tires. When they came across a tomcat, they chased it up a tree. "And stay there," growled Nutsy. They ran all around the wild side of town, and whenever they saw a road that went up, they took it, because that night the sky was the limit. Up the dogs went, and up and up until finally they reached the top of the big hill. With their eyes bugging out, they looked around. "We can see the whole world from here," cried Alice. Stanley stared in amazement. He had no idea the world was so big. Then he looked down, and that's when he saw it, standing there in the moonlight. A strange, flat, red and black thing. Ooh, boys and girls, can you see what it was that he saw? Stanley shivered. He wasn't sure what the thing was, but there was something about it that made his fur stand up. He walked slowly over and sniffed. "Smells like feet," he said. The other dogs crowded close and took deep sniffs. They loved the smell of feet. "It's supposed to have a kid on it," said Elwood. "Where's the kid?" The dogs all looked around. No kid. As Stanley sniffed the thing some more, he accidentally touched it with his nose. It moved. He touched it again. Slowly, very slowly, it started rolling down the hill. "It's getting away!" yelped Alice. Stanley raced after the thing. He jumped on it with all four paws to stop it. But it didn't stop. It was going faster every second, and it was taking Stanley with it. "Hot dog!" barked Nutsy. "Look at that pup go!" Stanley had never gone so fast in his whole life. His ears flew back, his fur flattened out. He held on so tight, his paws were white. "Go, Stanley!" yapped his friends as they raced along behind. Tearing around a bend, Stanley ripped through a tunnel and over a curb. Finally, he glanced back and saw his friends had found things too. "Ow, ow, ow!" howled Stanley. Screaming into an intersection, he did a huge circling wheelie, and when he reached the top of the steepest slope in town, his friends were right on his tail. "Ow, ow, ow!" they howled. With a rumble like thunder, the dogs roared down the hill, faster than a squirrel, faster than a rabbit, faster than any dog ever dreamed of going. "Ow, ow, ow!" And all over town, dogs woke up and howled right back, and cats yowled, and babies wailed, and lights went on, and people ran out to watch the dogs go by. Even the cars were howling. There was one right behind the dogs. It was black and white and had a light on top. "Ee-oo, ee-oo," howled the police car. "Ow, ow, ow!" howled Stanley as he looked straight ahead at a fence. "Ow!" went the dogs as they hit the fence. "Ow, ow, ow, ow!" Well, they didn't hit it that hard, but it must have been a very old fence because it fell right over, and there the dogs were in Stanley's yard. And there were Stanley's people on the porch wearing their pajamas. Stanley went over to give them a lick. They tasted sleepy. It took a while to sort everything out. Stanley's friends were loaded into the police car to go home. The things with wheels went into the truck. Oh, I'm sorry. The things with wheels went into the trunk. Eek. As for Stanley, well, The hole got filled in and a new fence went up, and there he was, back in his yard. But he didn't mind, not too much. Stanley was dog tired. Good old clothesline, he thought as he lay around on the lawn. Good old bush. His night out had taught him a lot about the world beyond the fence. How it's big and strange, how it's full of ups and downs, how it can give you the ride of a lifetime. But the most important thing that Stanley learned was this: there is always a way past a fence. Oh, that was so fun. Can you picture those dogs having such a great time going all around the town on skateboards and bikes and wagons and all kinds of fun stuff? I hope Stanley has another adventure soon. See you later.